Welcome to Spotlight New England. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling. We're
Last night.
platted out.
We are. It's like the holiday. We're doing the countdown though.
Well, you know how like some of the shows like coordinate what they're gonna wear.
Yes.
Well, we don't.
Clearly, we didn't today at all. Either.
No, but today we did because we're filming.
We said we needed to do like holiday, but we both decided to wear plaid.
Well, what else are you gonna do?
I did have a solid red sweater, but
did you?
But last minute, you know why? Because yesterday Ashley was talking about her sweater. And how like
frumpy
the full
looked.
outfit. No, like because what you said made so much sense.
Yeah.
It was, and when I put it on this morning, I thought that I'm like sitting down. This is nothing remarkable about the sweater.
Yeah.
You stand up. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's doable.
But unless
you saw the full outfit, so I took it right off.
That's why I wore plaid instead of just like whatever, because it needed a little.
You were in my head this morning. I'm like, I'm doing an Ashley. This is an Ashley moment. What she was talking about.
That's like when Dr. Darryl told me to dress in all monochromatic to be chic.
Yes,
and that like, really stuck with me.
See, and the red shoes.
Yes, that stuck with you. You
stuck
were like,
me.
where are my red shoes?
Oh.
No, but I mean, this week because it's been so cold, it's starting to feel holiday-ish.
It is starting to feel. I love it.
Yeah.
You excited?
I am excited. I told you I was starting to program my holiday stations on my radio this morning. They just make their appearance for the season.
Yeah, you don't do all year.
I don't do year round. I love it though when it comes.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
But it actually was snowing this week.
Yes, the little flurries were coming down.
Yeah.
Did you
have them? Did you see them?
I didn't see them.
This was in Fall River. This was our actually I think our meteorologist recorded this video when she was out and about.
This must have been the one they showed on the news, right?
Yes,
because Victoria and I were watching it, and she said it looks like glitter.
It does.
And I'm like, it does look like glitter.
It's like a snow globe.
It is. I mean, like
I was actually.
It's really pretty.
I will say this. I was a little disappointed. I did not see any flurries. I kind of wanted to see some.
We didn't get anywhere we were.
You didn't?
No.
I didn't see it like that. It must have been.
Where was that at? Do you know?
That was Fall River.
Okay, you said Fall River. Okay, so I mean, I guess I could have theoretically. I'm not that far from Fall River.
No, you are.
But yeah, I didn't get any.
No, I didn't either. And I feel like if it's this cold,
you need to have a flurry, right?
At least this time of year.
Give me a little something.
I don't need it in March.
No. Oh my
gosh.
No.
When it's like this time of year, and you're kind of like, but the other crazy thing. This was the same day.
This was the same day.
It was the Northern Lights,
which was so cool. I did see this last night when I was walking the dogs.
You saw it yourself?
I did, and I just want to clarify because I will say my son saw these photos. Like, didn't look like that to me.
Did it not?
Well, these are like it comes out much like more like pinker like this when you take the photo.
Yeah,
but when you're walking, you can definitely
Wicked.
tell.
That one looks like Wicked.
It's like a promo for the movie.
I know. I'm like, it's like somehow
there was really no Northern Lights.
There actually really is like like magical powers going on, and they like somehow made the sky pink and green because Wicked's coming out.
Like all the kids coming out. But I mean, I will say the photos make it look just bolder.
Yeah.
Then at least when I was looking at it, it didn't look 100% like that. You could tell there was some differences in the sky, but the photos looked awesome.
So I didn't see it because, well, I don't like. Potentially because it wasn't at my house, but probably more because I was in bed already.
Tell them why.
That was why. Because I think if I had been awakened on social media and like scrolling, if I had seen people posting the photos in real time, obviously I would have gone outside.
Yes.
However, I got up very early yesterday to come into work.
Yes, you did get up very early.
I was up very early, and I was like, I'm going to bed.
You were tired.
I missed the whole thing, but they did say there are other opportunities tonight, potentially later this week. So I'm hoping I can stay awake.
I will say, and she's not going to say this, but Ashley, where she lives and like where her house is, like right over the water, you have the perfect spot for it.
I hope so. I saw it the last time they came.
Okay.
They came. The last time the Northern Lights visited.
It's like elves come and visit.
I did see them over my house, but it was actually over like the backside, which wasn't really as much over the water.
Yeah.
But I could see them with the naked eye.
So it was easy for you to see. So
it was that time, but like
you guys got to look tonight.
So I'm very excited that like
is your husband into this?
Maybe no, probably not.
Okay.
But you know what? That's not true. If we were out there, I was like, oh my God, look, he would think it was cool.
He'd be excited.
But like he's not like me. Like I'm like I will be looking because TJ Del Santo said that as soon as it gets dark, you can start looking.
Yeah, because my husband would like love stuff like this. Yeah. So that's why last night when I'm like, oh my God, Matt, you gotta go outside.
Josh thinks it's cool, but like he won't know that it happened.
Yeah.
Like he is just like he works hard, and then
He does.
I fill him in on the rest of the world in the evening when we have
that's why he's
dinner.
a wonderful man. And it's so crazy. I just said your husband. That was, like,
I
the first
know
time
it
I've
was
done
actually
that.
like very weird.
Right?
I can't even say
Like,
it
took
yet.
me a
I'm still
second.
working on getting them out. Okay, we have a really fun show today. I'm so excited to talk about this. We're going to talk about travel and winter travel. Maybe we'll talk about the northern lights that
Yeah.
are not here too. So stick around. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Spotlight New England. We are going to talk about one of my favorite things today, which is travel. I could talk about travel every day, all day, because I'm constantly dreaming of where I'm going to go next. And today we have Tamara Gruber. She is luxury travel consultant and content creator for Your Time to Fly. And she is going to fill us in on some of the places you might want to go around this time of year.
Yep.
When is a good time to be booking your travel and all that good stuff. So thanks for joining us.
I'm
to
so
be
happy
here.
I can also talk about travel all day. So.
Right? It's such a fun, for me, it's such a fun topic. I think because you can kind of like just dream a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, like think about where you would want to go, what you would want to do. So I always love talking about that. But before we talk about specifically places, I wanted to learn more about how you got into the industry and what kind of brought you here.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, even as a kid, I dreamed about travel, but we didn't really have a chance to do very much. I would just go to Vermont to visit my grandmother, and that was like our family vacation. So it was really important for me when I first started, you know, traveling with my daughter to like have great experiences for her. So I spent so much time like researching what to do, what would be good with kids, and just make it go as smoothly as possible. Because I know, like, especially when you're traveling with kids, you just want it all to work out,
Yeah.
you know, because
Yeah.
if they have a bad impression, it'd be like, oh, we never want to go on another
Yeah.
trip again, you know? And so I would put together these really detailed itineraries. And I had a friend of mine I showed it to once after we went to Spain, and she was like, you should do this for other people. And I was like, yeah, maybe I should. So I launched my first travel blog, and it was family travel focused. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it all started, my switch in career into travel.
And she's
What
been very humble. She was one of the first like really travel bloggers. I mean, there weren't that many. Were that even that many when you started out?
I think it was still like a new thing, and it was like kind of transitioning from it being your journal. So there were a lot of
Yeah.
people that were doing it as like a full-time, I'm nomadic.
Yes.
But not that many that were doing it kind of, you know, for people that
Like a
just travel
resource.
whenever you
Yeah.
can, you know, but
Yeah.
not like I'm constantly traveling.
Yeah. No.
So what are kind of, you know, what is it now that you do? And like, what are your services? I know you do content creation, which is how I started following you, just because I really liked your content and I like to see like what you were doing or where you were talking about going or sending people to. So that's how I found you, because I just liked your content, but I'm sure there's a lot more to what you do too.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I mean, I travel, so I follow so many other people. Like, I'm constantly like adding to my list of places I want to go. But yeah, so right now I still have a travel blog. I kind of, for a while I had two. Now I sold one, and I just have Your Time to Fly. But then I realized that a lot of people would come to me like wanting help, because it, you know, some people love planning like I do, and other people are like, no, I don't have time for that. I'm very overwhelmed with all the information out there. I need somebody to help me. And so I started as a travel advisor. And so now you can either visit my blog to get information to plan your own trip, or if you want help using, you know, my expertise, my partnerships, my, you know, my resources, then I can plan it for you.
Now, like, where do you pull from these? Like, so, I mean, let's just say, I'm just going to throw out like a Disney. Let's just throw like a Disney. Like, how long does it take you to do behind these destinations, like all of the research? Because I'm someone that falls into that category where it is so overwhelming for me. Like, like, I mean, I'm planning like a little getaway to New York City, and I'm so overwhelmed. I'm like, I think we're just going to go and just see where the wind takes us.
Oh my gosh.
And I know that that's
I could never.
No, I know.
I'm with you, Ashley.
But you know what? The reason why your resources are so needed is because I was somebody that I did plan it kind of late, but I didn't realize you have to book things 60 days out. So I'm missing out on a bunch of things because I didn't have the resource of somebody like you to say to me, well, you might want to plan a trip maybe in January because everything in December is going to be booked out.
Yeah.
So where do you go for the research? Like, how long does it take you? You know, all of that stuff that I get stressed about.
I spend so much time like this type of job, you're always learning. It's all about like constantly educating yourself, but I'm always interested in that. I've always been somebody like I listen to podcasts. Like I love like constantly learning about new destinations. I go and I do a lot of webinars and I go to conferences, but a lot of it's just traveling myself, you know. So through that experience, you learn, you know, way more than you're going to learn just, you know, on the internet.
Yeah.
So that's helped a lot. But I, like last night I was working on planning a trip to Australia and a region that I was not that familiar with. So I'm like diving into the tourism website and, you know, talking to different people and just like reading as much as I can. And one of the things that I love to do is that I will pull up a Google map and I'll start like plotting things out on the map and saving it, you know, how you can star things on Google Maps. So then I can look at it visually and be like, oh, okay, well, this makes sense to do in one day. And now this makes sense
We have
to do
a similar
next
brain,
day.
I think.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have that brain.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, because like I love to go on to like a map function in general and just kind of look and see where things are and be like, is that close to that? Is that close to that? So I get that. That makes sense to me.
Well, it's like if you go to, you know, say you're going to New York, you know, and you're not quite sure where things are and you're suddenly like, oh, we're having to take the subway like downtown. Now we have to go back. Like, why are we not like, you know,
doing
why are we
everything
going
downtown?
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. No,
So
absolutely.
let's talk about some of the things that people at least dream about doing this time of year. This is on my like bucket list to do, which would be some of those European holiday markets. And now I know that there are, I mean, there probably always were a lot, but I feel like you hear so much more about them now. Have they actually grown in popularity, or are we just kind of talking about it more now?
It's so grown in popularity, but it's one of the, you know, Instagram, TikTok, you know, suddenly we know about it. But a lot of like the German Christmas markets, they've been going on for like 300 years or more, but now everybody wants to go. And so you will find like one of the things about those markets, and a couple years ago I did a trip and we visited like 12 markets in a couple of weeks, which people were like, you're crazy, you're going to get bored of them. And they're all like different and magical. I actually want to plan like a group trip to go back next year because it was that magical. So magical. But they really do book up like really far in advance. But what other people don't realize is that when it comes to like holiday markets and even things like around here in New England, it happens before the holiday. So like a lot of those Christmas markets in Europe, they're actually done by December 22nd or something.
Oh, wow. Really?
Okay. So people are thinking like, oh, over Christmas break, I'll go and I'll do that.
People have that dead time usually between the holidays.
So sometimes it'll, you know, some of the larger cities will have markets still going on, but most of it is kind of done by that time. And, you know, as you look around like New England, a lot of towns, like the first 2 weeks of December is when they have a lot of the special events and festivities and things like that.
Yeah, actually, locally.
If somebody wants to do something like that, which obviously, you know, is a big trip, but where should they start? Because now there are so many, I think Germany is pretty synonymous with them, but they're not the only ones that have it. Like, where are some of the best ones in your opinion that like you kind of get the most bang for your buck or great experience or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about Europe, Germany definitely leads the way. There's something special about them. It's like the foods just resonate and the crafts are like much more like homemade and like they just feel more special. You go to some of the larger cities, like I've gone to London around that time, and you'll see a lot of things that are kind of mass produced and it's cute and it's pretty.
Yeah, right.
You know, they have the little chalets and you can drink your mulled wine.
Love that.
But if you're looking for kind of that real authenticity, like Germany's where to go. I'm actually going to Portugal like in early December, so I'm curious to see like what
do they have markets there as well?
They do, but small. Okay. You know? But I think Germany and also the Alsace region of France is really well known for that. So I went to like Strasbourg. They call it the capital of Christmas, and it is amazing.
Audrey.
Like the decorations, like the buildings have teddy bears and lights, and it is just. It is so magical. So magical.
I gotta get there.
And there's another town, Colmar, which is I walked in with my friend and I'm like, how is this real? How is this place somebody where people live and not Disney World? It's amazing.
I love that.
See, that's the kind of stuff that would be amazing.
Like, there's so much out there, and I think that social media has helped so that we know, but it's also, you know, now it's so infiltrated. It's probably harder to navigate. But regardless, that's a side conversation. But where else this time of year is kind of like a good place to visit? I've actually randomly now a few times gone to Paris around the holidays, which I loved because I feel like in Europe they do a great job of keeping things so that you could still be outdoors and enjoy the outdoors. So even the like cafes have the heaters outside and they put blankets out. So like you could still like enjoy everything that there is, plus, you know, the Christmas decorations.
It must be stunning in Christmas. Oh.
I always joke that, like, when I'm at home, I just want to be on my couch with a blanket around me,
Yes.
and I don't want to go anywhere.
Yes.
But when I'm out in other places in the world, then it's something about the way that they embrace the weather. They just live their life, and Canada is great about that. Like last December, I went to Halifax, which is just a short flight from Boston, so it's easy to get to go. And you have like a lot of the New England type things, like the lobster trap trees, but the markets, and there's just more of that, like, we like being outside.
Right.
We're Canadian. We know it's cold.
Right. We're used to this.
I went to
we deal.
This one town, I think it was Shelbourne, and I was literally like, is this not a Hallmark movie? Like, they were having this
another place.
this town fair, and everyone had their own little like float that they decorated, and it's just like,
this is what
all
dreams
these
are
little
made of.
pop-up
I'm like,
things.
it's like Candyland, but for real. Like, it's truly like these little magical worlds.
Yeah.
And that's like probably not all that difficult to get to, right?
No, it's like an hour. I think it's an hour flight from Boston.
My
It's a direct
gosh.
flight,
So like, just I mean, out of curiosity, like, how do you find out about that? Like, how do you find that?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is like
Just
the
knowing
tourism people,
yeah.
are really good about like letting you know, and then you just kind of you should see it. Ashley, I think you'd appreciate this, but I have like folders and folders and folders in my inbox of like filing
Do
things
you?
in
Yes,
my
yes,
browser,
yes.
just trying to keep track of different things. Yeah.
Wow, that's
But I feel like
unbelievable.
even in the U.S., like we have some nice like Christmas markets.
Yeah.
Like Chicago does like a really nice Christmas.
Oh, do they?
They have, you know, really nice kind of Germans, because there's a lot of like, I think there's a big German population there. So there's,
I didn't know
there's like
that.
some very authentic types of markets there. And I was actually really surprised by Philadelphia. So like everybody wants to go to New York.
Yeah.
You go a little further on the train, and Philadelphia.
They have some great ones.
They have, you know, so many different places where you can skate outdoors. And
Oh,
they have
really?
a really nice market. And
That's a
I
good
really
point, because
enjoyed it.
everyone does think like Bryant Park, like, you know, you think of like the really, I
But
guess,
again,
like the
it is
traditional
all
ones.
so busy and beautiful and worth
Yeah.
it. But like sometimes you're like, I don't feel like dealing with all that.
Right,
you
just like
know?
an extra 45 minutes on the train, and you're in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
It's a good
So
point.
let's talk about deals, because this time of year now we're going to see Black Friday.
Yeah.
What is it? Travel
Travel
Tuesday,
Tuesday,
all
yeah.
that coming up. And so obviously it's marketed as a great time for travel. But is it a good time to be buying travel things or looking into travel
It
things?
really is. Yeah. I will say, like, my inbox right now is just bombarded with sales, because, you know, there's no like Black Friday anymore. It's like
All this
Black
is on.
Friday.
It's already on.
It is
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So
Early
some
Black Friday.
Some of the like hotel chains are already starting like this week to offer. So if you know you're going to a destination, or you have something on your radar, I would say, especially like, it might be hard to research it yourself, but you can definitely reach out to like a travel advisor, because they should know that, you know, kind of off the top of the head. But you'll see discounts like 25%, 30%, 40%.
Wow, and those add up.
Yeah, and it really helps though if you can be flexible, because you know, of course, everybody leads with their sale of like 40% off,
Right,
And
and
it's
it's like
for this one date in March, you know. So, and that's where you get into, you know, if you have to follow kind of a traditional school schedule or anything like that, it can be harder. But if you can book, you know, the further in advance, the better. You're going to be able to get these deals. I find with airfare too. I remember years ago we were on the runway about to like take off to go visit family in Florida for Thanksgiving, and I'm like booking airline tickets to go to Vienna, like in March,
I love it.
because I
I love
saw
it.
I'm like, oh, did it go through? Did it go
Like, please
through?
go through. Please go through.
So it is worth
smart.
it.
It
That's
is.
really good to know. That's like
Yeah.
a good tip. Like truly, like take advantage of these deals.
Yeah, think about it now, so
Yeah.
that you can know what you're looking
Right.
for.
Yeah, because
Click
if you're
away
looking
on
for
the
like
day of.
families, that's a big savings.
Yeah.
Like that, even like
Yeah.
15 to 20%. I mean, that adds up.
And then before we let you go, big question: what is like one place you would just always recommend to almost anyone?
Ooh. Well, you were just talking about the Northern Lights, and so I have such a love for Iceland.
Yeah.
And look, maybe it's not for everyone, but if you like nature and the outdoors and just incredible scenery, Iceland is amazing. And for us, you know, it's like a 4.5
not
to
a bad
5 hour
flight.
flight from
Yeah.
Boston. It's really, really easy to get to. It is pricey, but there's so much to do. And
Yeah.
it's
So
such a
add that
beautiful place.
to your list.
Yeah.
I love that. Great
See?
tip. Where can people find you if they wanted to reach out and get your expertise?
Yeah, so you can look on Your Time to Fly. It's all spelled out. yourtimetofly.com is my website. Or you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the rest, Your Time to Fly.
Love it. Thank you so much for joining us
coming
today.
here. It's the bug here, that
just, I
wanderlust
know.
bug.
I'm like, we'll have to have you back for all the other seasons.
Yes.
And when I just
Always
feel
happy
like
to.
booking a trip.
Love it. Love it.
Stick around because we're actually going to talk travel a little bit more still after the break. Welcome back to Spotlight New England. Once that travel bug hits, Audrey.
I'm telling you, we're already thinking
Now
about
I'm like,
all the places we want to go.
I feel like Iceland could be.
I thought you had been there before.
No,
so,
I haven't.
see?
But I feel like Iceland's a good girls' trip too.
That would be a great girls'
Wouldn't
trip.
that be a good one?
Yes.
In like February.
Yes.
Anyway, so if you are looking to travel, there's actually a new trend of semi-private flying
Yeah.
that's starting to become kind of popular. So let's learn a little bit more about it now.
Soaring through the clouds in southern Finland looks sunnier on a private plane. An ACX jet has the ticket. Former flight attendant Jonas Nurmai co-founded the luxury aviation charter company.
It's very convenient when you come to Europe if you hire your own private jet or helicopter, because you get to save so much time.
Nurmai and a friend started the company during the pandemic with $1,000 and a rented helicopter. They've since expanded in a big way. This year's Golden Globe winners and presenters found their private jet trips in their event gift bags.
If you are used to flying first class and you are traveling with your family or friends, the private jet actually these days, it's not even that much more expensive.
And it comes with big perks, a VIP pickup from a commercial flight, private airport lounge with goodies to munch on, more treats on board, and creating your own schedule. Of course, all that comes at a price, which is why shared jet companies in the U.S. like JSX are flying high.
You're essentially buying onto this flight by the seat and retaining a lot of those same benefits that you would have if you were using private aviation.
That means checking in just 20 minutes before departure and bringing four-legged friends along for the ride. Bella Jimenez recently flew JSX from Westchester County, New York to Miami with Archie.
I think it's really cool that he can just ride alongside with me and it's just no fuss.
The shared jet model is so popular. Another company called Slate is partnering with White Elephant Resorts in Palm Beach, Florida and Nantucket, Massachusetts. The deal nets travelers 15% off a White Elephant property like the newly renovated cottages at Boat Basin where we stayed for a special rate, and $250 savings on a Slate flight from New York, as well as a 6-month complimentary membership. More opportunities to take flight.
Oh,
All
there
right,
you
so
go, right
I
there.
have to share a quick story if I can get it in because I talk so much. JSX, who they mentioned there. So you know how I will sometimes travel with Travel Mom when she has her. Okay.
Yes.
So she had the folks from JSX at one of her
The events that she
vacations
does.
that we went to, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. So we were learning all about them, and they actually did offer us vouchers. However, I'm sure they have expired by now.
Right.
Because they do only fly out of certain places. So
Okay.
it would take for us from here a little bit of figuring out how to get to where because they don't just like fly to Providence.
That is
for
so
example.
cool, though.
But I was really interested in that on just like to see like a short flight to
Right, absolutely.
Florida or somewhere. They obviously go to very specific places, but
Right.
I was so
Like a Palm Beach or Nantucket.
so intrigued by that.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, listen, if you have the money to be able to travel, and why would you not? I guess, again, we don't know how much extra it is. But I mean, even like he said, you have like that private, like you have the privacy, you have the VIP service.
Yeah.
Even just like that shuttle within itself when you get on and off.
Right, to not have to
That's huge. It's
spend
a lot of,
so much time in the airports and things like that. So worth looking
break it down.
into, right? Why not dream about it?
dream big.
Thanks for joining us today on Spotlight New England. We will see you next time.